Collective. There is a difference between incorrect and morally wrong. So when we talk about something being morally wrong, that is the judging that God's talking about not to do, because morality is a human construct. It is not a spiritual construct. And when someone deals with morality, when someone is in a spirit of morality, it essentially allows them to move the goalposts because morality is subjective, whereas incorrectness is not subjective. If a thing is correct or incorrect, that thing can be objectively proven to be correct or incorrect. Morality does not allow for any objectivity whatsoever. Morality depends on who you ask. For example, someone might say, well, is this thing wrong? And it's going to depend on who you ask what the answer to that question is. Even the most severe things, there are some people that will say, even if 90% of people say that thing is wrong, if there's 10% that say it's not wrong, then you're dealing with subjectivity. Um, if I drop a pencil and it falls to the ground, that's called the law of gravity. I can't imagine anyone who you would ask if you drop something, will it fall to the ground? I've never heard anyone say anything other than if I drop something, it's going to fall to the ground. That is what we would consider objective. That is what we would consider something that is testable and that will stand and withstand any scenario. So when we look in scripture and we see where God is talking about correcting someone or chastening someone or disciplining someone. But so when we're talking about that precept of correcting someone, what the scriptures are talking about is moving them from a place of incorrectness to being correct. When we talk about judging someone, what we're talking about is accusing. When you're moving someone from incorrectness to correctness, what you are doing is giving them information that shows that the information they are currently operating in is fallible or will break down at some point or is incorrect or will not work or actually is not working. When you're accusing someone, you are not offering any alternatives. You're just putting weight on people. And that's the whole spirit of accusation is the spirit of the Antichrist. For example, if I come to you and say, well, that thing you're doing is wrong and you're going to hell, that is the spirit of Antichrist. If I come to you and say, that thing you're doing is not going to be productive, here's an alternative. You try this. This is this will work and that thing is not working. That is the correction that God is talking about. Also, there is a difference between correcting someone and giving them information and correcting someone and giving them a cliche. For example, someone will come up to you and say, well, you got to stop doing that and Jesus is the answer. um okay, but what does that mean? What is the information that I can use to fix this thing? What steps can I take? What physical things can I do to correct this thing? And unfortunately, this thing we're calling the church is just ripe with cliches. Like, they always have some cliche, and it's not really their fault. It's how this system is built. The system is built to ensnare you. The system is built to offer you cliches. The system is built to condemn you. That's the whole purpose of it. That's how they kept the slaves mentally and spiritually bound, was with that spirit of condemnation and fear. And it is continuing in today's church. The correction that God is talking about will free you. And the accusation that we have by and large, particularly in the church, is meant to weigh you down, because they don't have any alternatives, and they're not really coming from the system itself is designed this way. Understand, the system is not designed to free you. The system is not designed to give you correct information or give you alternatives to your course. What the system is designed to, for this thing we're calling a church, what the system is designed for is to weigh you down. It is designed to judge you. It is designed to put weight on you. It is designed to ensnare you in a spirit of guilt and fear. And scripture is very clear about this. If someone is approaching you and there is a spirit of guilt or weight or fear that is present, that is not the spirit of Christ. That is the spirit of the Antichrist. If someone approaches you and there is a spirit of freedom, a spirit of non-judgmentalness, a spirit of informing, and a spirit of bringing information that will free you, that is the spirit of Christ. It's a very, very simple thing, collective, for us to discern. You know when someone is coming to you and there is a spirit of condemnation with them. Collective, you know. And they will tell you, well, that is the spirit convicting you. That's a lie. In the scriptures, when it talks about the spirit convicting us of sin, it's not talking about on an individual basis. It's talking about the whole state of mankind. It's not talking about God coming up to you and saying or someone who's supposed to be from God coming up to you and telling you something that's making you feel bad. That's not how Jesus approached things. His approach was always to remove the weight. So when that spirit comes to you and you are being weighed down, or you feel a sense of condemnation from that one who is bringing that message to you, that is not the spirit of Christ. That is the spirit of the Antichrist. The accuser is the Antichrist, and the one who frees is Christ.
Peculiar Things is available on audiobook, Kindle, and paperback. www.peculiarthings.org